Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for today we're gonna be doing a 3 looks 1 palette with the beautiful Natasha Denona retro palette. I have been using this palette for almost a full week at this point since I got it, and honestly I fall more and more in love with it. It is definitely a palette that is very much up my alley because I love pink shades. If you're new to my channel, that's probably not a surprise. If you're not new, by the way, be sure to subscribe to my channel if you like beauty, lifestyle, kind of like vlogs. That's basically what I do on my channel, so if you're interested in that kind of content, definitely consider subscribing. For today's video, we're gonna be doing the 3 looks. I had a lot of fun filming with this palette, and I know it's going to be a favorite of mine. Just in general, like a favorite in general, not just kind of like in the next month or the next season, because again, pinks are just my go-to shades. As much as I love brownish neutrals, I feel like pinks definitely complement my skin the most, and in general I just love pink the most. So anyway, let's just get right into it. I'm gonna start with a blending brush, and I'm gonna go into the shade Amara, which is the one on the very corner, and I'm just going to start blending this into the crease with windshield wiper motions. With a flat brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Jude, so the kind of like more cooler tone in the palette, this one right in the middle, and I'll try with the brush. If not, I can just go with my finger, and I'm just going to apply this all over my lid. With the first brush we used, we're gonna go into the same first shade, so Amara, and I'm just going to start blending out the edges to make sure we don't have any harsh lines. Switching to a smaller, more precise blending brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Opart, so the dark brown in the palette, and I'm going to start blending this into my outer V. I do want a bit more of a smoky eye. This shade does have a lot of fallout, so all I'm gonna do, because I do my makeup first, like my face makeup, I'm just going to grab my same powder brush, and I'm kind of like gonna dust away that dark brown shade. Now that I have the outer V as intense as I want it, I'm gonna go back into the first shade, so Amara, in the same first blending brush, and I'm just going to softly blend out the edges. And now with my finger, I'm gonna go into the shade Jude, so the all over lid we used, and I'm going to retouch the eyelid color. And with a smaller, more precise brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Amara, and I'm going to run this on my lower lashes. And with the same brush onto the shade Opart, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm gonna keep this very much on the end of the eye only. We're gonna go back to the shade Opart with a more precise brush, kind of like a liner brush, and I'm going to start lining my eyes. I'm going to just wing it just a little bit, but barely noticeable. And now for inner corner, I'm gonna go to the shade Mod, so the lighter kind of like pinkish vanilla shade, and I am going to start applying this on my inner corners, and I will be going with a shimmering one, but first I wanted to put a very light base before I go on with shimmer. Now that we got the matte one, let's go into the shade Psychedelic, so the one in the very center of the palette, with that same brush. And now I'm gonna go ahead and apply it on my inner corners. We're all done with the look, and I'm gonna do a little bit of a close-up. We're still needing some mascara. I'm gonna go ahead and apply tons of mascara, and then I'll be right back to show you the final look. And I think I'm gonna switch my lipstick. I did have like a very nude one, but I think I want to go for more of a pink shade, so I'll be right back. So here's the final look with the mascara. I just applied tons of mascara, and let me show you a little bit closer. To complete this makeup, I'm just gonna go for Love of My Life by Lisa Eldridge. I just feel like a more pinkier lipstick would suit this makeup a little bit better. So here is the final look now with the lipstick and a little bit more open so you can see the full makeup, not just the eyes. I just loved how this eye look turned out. This is definitely my kind of smoky eye, something a little bit more natural, more simple, but I still feel like it's absolutely stunning, and with that pink peeking through on the very top of the eye look, it just kills me. I love, love, love the pink. And of course the full look. For today's look, I want to do something very simple for my everyday. If you know me and you're familiar with my channel, you know how I love my everyday simple looks. So we're going to start with the shade Mud that's up here and onto a blending brush, but like a flat one. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend this all over my lids. If you hear any noises down here, Remus is playing with his little toys. Okay, so for my crease shade, I'm gonna go into the shade Andy, so the one that's up here, with a blending brush. And I'm just going to run this through my crease. I'm going to switch to a flat shader brush with that same Andy shade, and I'm going to start defining and bringing this a little bit onto kind of like a wing instead of just being round, or I'm just going to start blending this upwards to define a little bit more and make a look of a wing line. So yeah, that little brush definitely helped me to get that more precise definition on the end of the eye. Now with my finger, I'm gonna go back to the shade Mud, so the lighter one in the palette, and I'm just going to apply this on my lid. Then going back here on the outer V, just to make sure that the shades are blended. Switching to an eyeliner brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Opart, so the darker brown in the palette, and I'm just going to draw a line on my eye. I don't think I'm gonna wing it this time. I'm not sure. Let's see how it goes. I did wing it just a tiny bit. It's barely noticeable. And now to finish up, I'm going to use the same shade, so Mud, onto a very small precise brush, and I'm going to apply this on my inner corners. We're gonna go for a full matte look today. So here is the finished look with no shimmers, no satin. I just wanted to go for something fully matte because I know a lot of people for their everyday prefer to just use matte shades. So here's everything. I really like it. Even though we have no shimmering shades, the full-blown kind of like vanilla pinkish shade, so the lighter shade, definitely opens up your eyes, and then applying that same shade on your inner corner, you really don't need a shimmering one to open up your eyes whenever you have such a light shade blown all over your eyes. So anyway, I'm gonna be right back and I'm gonna apply lots of mascara and then we'll finish up this look. So here it is, so you can see a little bit better the full face of makeup. Again, I really love this. I feel like this would be the perfect makeup look or eye look to go to the office for like your everyday. If you're not going to the office like I am not anymore, just for like a simple quick everyday makeup, this is definitely completely up my alley. And then here is the lipstick. For reference, I always forget to mention what I'm wearing, so this one is Glowing Gen by Charlotte Tilbury. So for today's look, I'm going to start with the shade Mud, so kind of like the vanilla-ish pink undertone, and I'm just going to apply this all over my lids. With a blending brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Go Go down here, and I'm just going to start blending this into my crease. Switching to a flat shader brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Patty, which is the one next to the one we just used, and I am just going to apply this all over my lid. I'm going to try and wet my brush to see if that helps a little bit with the intensity, because I feel like the brush is not grabbing as much color. If it doesn't work, then I'll just go ahead and use my finger. I think that'll work. And now to blend out those edges, we're gonna go back into the same shade we used on the crease, so Go-Go, with the same blending brush. With a smaller, more precise brush, I'm gonna go into the shade Groove, so the darkest purple in the palette, so this one right here, and I'm going to start lining my eyes, and I will be kind of like smoking out with that same line. I did want to wing it, so I did wing it just a little bit, but I am keeping it pretty thick on the edge of the eye and then just making it a little bit thinner onto the end of the wing. For my lower lashes, I'm going to use the shade Nude Mauve, so the one down here, in a smaller, more precise brush. And with that same brush, I'm going to go back to the shade Groove, so the purple that we used as the liner. And I'm just going to line on the very external part of the eyes, so just down here on the end, to give a little bit more of that dramatic, smoky look. And now to add a lot of glitter or glitter-like on the inner corner, I'm gonna go for Psychedelic, so the one in the middle of the palette. Just like I feel like the look is very matte almost, although the lid shade is considered a shimmering one, it's not as shimmering comparing it to this one. So I feel like the eye just needs a little bit more of shimmering action. So I'm using this smaller, very tiny, precise brush. So here's the final look without any mascara. Of course, I'm gonna go and apply tons of mascara and then I'll be back. But I wanted to show you how everything is looking before applying anything on the lashes. So mascara is all done, so the eye look is completed now. I do like that shade Patty. I feel like it's perfect for whenever you want to do a more kind of like subtle shimmer. Like you don't want to go fully matte, but you want to have a little bit of shine to your eyelids without being like too glittery or too shimmering. So I do like it. It's not gonna be my favorite from the palette, I'm not gonna lie, but I do like it, and I like that I was able to play with it a little bit more with this eye look. And to finish up this look, I'm gonna be using Lisa Eldridge Blush Lip Gloss. I wanted just something more shiny, so a gloss, but I didn't want to have any shimmering on it. So this one is going to be a just opaque color without any glitters or shimmering on it. Now that I've had a time and a chance to play with all the shadows, I definitely like it. The formula is consistent across the board, and with her other palette that I have on this size, which is going to be the bronze palette, it's just a beauty. The shades perform really nicely, they blend very easily, they're pigmented, you get a variety of different kind of like finishes. You've got from a matte to a satin to a beautiful shimmer, so you basically get everything. So if you are a pink lover eyeshadow or a pink eyeshadow lover, definitely consider getting this. I really like it. Anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like always, please give it a big thumbs up. This helps my channel a lot. And don't forget to subscribe before you leave. All you need to do is hit this little red button that says subscribe. It's completely free, and that way you won't miss any of my upcoming videos. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!